Pleasant good evening to each and everyone in Georgetown, Guyana, the diaspora, and elsewhere. Friends, before I continue, let me say Assalamu alaikum to all Muslims around the world that is celebrating the Eid Mubarak today, because after coming out of 1 month of fasting, and some may go on for another few days. But as we could see what happened during this Ramadan month around the world, Africa, the land of the cradle of civilization, as they say, Israel, and what is happening, it is totally uncalled for. Today is the day of the feast, a celebration, with all the massacre that is taking place in the world today. And yet, these Muslim brothers and sisters in Palestine and other countries still giving Allah praises and doing their fasting according to the teaching. One may ask, where is Allah? God or Bhagwan? Call him what you want. And sometimes we wondered when some people say there is no God. Now, it got me in the middle wondering to know who's right and who's wrong. Because all this senseless killing, children, pregnant women, and what are they killing for? Land, greed, and all of them going to die and leave it one day. I do not praise Allah, Bhagwan, or God, as they say. Is the same one person, the higher power. I believe in the higher power. It is not a statue. It's not a monkey, a donkey, a horse, or a giraffe. Nor is it a woman well dressed with lipstick and rouge with a baby in her hand, or a crown better than Queen Elizabeth crown, calling themselves Devta. Friends, but regardless of whatever, we in the civilized world today worship the higher power, a God that no one can see or put an image to, one that none of us don't know how he or she or whatever they look like, but we believe in him. We believe in this great God. But for the non-believers, that's your prerogative. That's your rights. But I come down to ask question. How could God allow his prophets to be slaves? And man, modern man who are going to die any second, any hour, any time, enslave the prophets of God, and God allow it. Sensitive people will say, this don't sound right. It don't look good. Because God is God, he's supposed to protect the prophet the way a shepherd would give his life to protect the sheep from the wolves or the thieves. It's a question mark. But regardless of what, I still believe in the higher power. Call him Allah, Bhagwan, or God, but it's not a cross. The cross is only used as a symbol to show that a good man, as the Messiah they claim, lie on it, fetch it, and was humiliated, beaten, and put in it. My principal belief is that this great God would not allow no one to crucify his son. And even if he allowed it, I didn't think the pain and agony that we have portrayed happens. But nevertheless, we cannot question God. That's another thing with a question mark. We can question our president, our king, our governors. But in today's modern world, you dare not say nothing bad about these corrupt, bloody politicians around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, Christians and believers alike, many of you, sorry for that, technical difficulties again. Yes, we are sorry for that little technical difficulties. I know for the past days we see things are happening, but what can we do? Especially when we are touching some sensitive things. But as you might be aware, once we have breath, we will continue the journey. And that is self-determination. My argument is plain and simple. For the Christians who believe that Jesus died on the cross and rise from the dead. And for those Muslims that believe that Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, is the last messenger. So therefore, we have problem in this world. I personally don't believe that Prophet Muhammad, peace be unto him, is the last messenger. Because so many 100 years have passed. God didn't send another messengers. I want to know why. Then if modern generations stray away from the teaching and not seeing the hands of God acting on behalf of the innocent, I will say clearly they have a right not to believe in anything. But dealing with the Christian, Isa, Jesus the Christ, before he was placed on the cross according to the message, he went up to the mountain. He left the 12 hypocrites behind that was walking behind him every day. They were only there for themselves. Like all those ministers in every government, with these corrupt politicians, depend upon their daily bread and don't want to do something for the common human being, common man, regardless of your language or your culture or your race. But we are the human race, or your nationality. Friends, before the crucifixion of Jesus, according to the good books, he went up to the little hills of mountain, and this was his prayer. Father, forgive me and take the cup that runneth over, and prepare me a body. And when he came down, he met the 12 hypocrites sleeping. He said, you all could not be awake for a little more. And then he told them, he will have to go, so the Comforter should come, which Muslims believe is Prophet Muhammad, peace be unto him. But peace be unto all dead people who was here and gone before. But modern time, ladies and gentlemen, in the month of fasting, the month of Muslim Ramadan, look what is happening to the Palestinian people in their country. Look what's happening in Africa and other parts of the world. Politicians are creating havoc. People are turning against each other for nothing. We don't trust one another. Which brings me back into Georgetown, Guyana. We tried the PNC with the black people, as they say, the black man, the Indians, and you can't blame them. Because lack of knowledge, lack of education, lack of everything, they use what they feel is beneficial. Today we have an Indian leader, and the uneducated blacks say we have a coolie leader. Again, we can't blame them because that is the vocabulary. But I personally call it a dog, a rat, or whatever, it is somebody. Both sides have faults. The black brothers and sisters out of the lands of Africa spoke about slavery. Spoke about the exploitation and the raping and the killing and what happened. Yes, and they're right. But what have they done in the Caribbean, in Guyana, and elsewhere where they happen to lead an indigenous race? The Indian always come up now and tell you about the day of arrival, but they themselves, look what are they doing to the native in the Caribbean, in Guyana. But yet, they call upon Bhagwan, Allah, and God. And if we answer them, something wrong, hypocrites, what you do not like for yourself, you shouldn't like for others. And you, the black race out of Mother Africa, by the European in hundreds of years, should come off of this slave talk when Africa was the cradle of civilization and y'all were the first one with slavery. Think of it. Even on the modern time. Today there's no European as white man ruling Africa. And today your generation are risking their life in the Pacific to come to where the white man, as you call them, the European race live. Whether Canada, Australia, New Zealand, whether Paris, Holland, or England, or America. And for you, the less educated, when you arrive in the talk, you say this is an Indian country. Well, imagine you commit 2 crimes. You chase them out of Africa. You know it is illegal to enter because you come in to share the land where they kill the innocent people, take over, so it's a part of the corruption yourself. You was aiding and abetting in the crime. Like the United States supporting Israel. Germany being accused by Nicaragua selling arms. But the same Jewish people today that condemn Germany and Adolf Hitler is trading with them, buying arms to kill Palestinian people innocently in their own land. Think, unto this day we didn't see a Hamas fighter yet. Today, the day of Ramadan, we killing people. Today, and our president in America and all say, Israel have a right to exist. Every human have a right to exist, providing you follow the guideline of humanity, Mr. President Biden, Miss Prime Minister of England. Friends, we are all victims in a society of mad politicians around the world. This killing will continue until God himself put an earthquake. Well, I call upon him here today that the world must know that he's a higher power and he's a commander and he is better than any king and president the world have. And those who are involved in it shake the land that they belong to and show that he is the supreme commander and creator of this universe. Children have been blown to pieces. Women have been killed in pregnancy. And these are innocent people. Not only in Israel, but in Africa and other countries around the world. In Guyana, soon you open up your mouth. The Indian pay the black police and judges and magistrates and prosecutors to lock you up and they try to kill you. And let it be known to y'all. Every crime that was committed by y'all against innocent people, somebody know who do it. They got your name. And big money that pass for information, y'all would not like them to rap on your door. If you kill people, only got to kill yours. It have to stop some way or the other. Come on. The only way that we can see this world for what it is, vengeance is mine, said the Lord. That's what you all tell us. But then the Lord threw the devil and his angel out of heaven, and they're forever and ever. And Satan's still in the world with his fallen angel. But you and I will soon live dead and gone. Why must we leave our enemy on God when we can send him to meet him and we all meet him halfway? Think of it. If you don't want to be killed, don't kill mine, I can't kill yours. It must be a neutral understanding between us. The only difference of human being is languages and culture. Every woman have the same feelings as much as every man. And you men around the world beating these women, raping them and killing them. And you came from a mother. May I have a daughter? Forget your wife because you don't treat her right. I see on Facebook the other day a policeman, they claim, it's alleged, beat his wife so bad and black and blue, and the police then refused to arrest him. He should be put in the bottom of the jail and not be allowed to be in any government facilities or jobs anymore. It's totally unfair in a civilized world. I condemn any man who beating a woman and killing them. For what? I call upon the Guyana government to look into that, and that police officer must surrender his badge and not to be allowed to be in the police force anymore, and must be locked up and put in the bottom of the jail for what he have done. Friends, today I call upon the international world to speak with one voice. Condemn the war in Israel, the wasteful killing, and in Africa and elsewhere. And let us unite for a better future. Help our brothers and sisters regardless of their language or their culture. For we are all God's creation. I see on the news how many people are dying in the Pacific, leaving Africa and India and other countries trying to come to the European country when we say, white man go home. And then in India, they say backward go home, but the black and the Indian are fighting to come here and dying. And when you go to Saudi Arabia, Mohammed land, they are raping and killing you. I heard a story, but a young African girl went to do babysitting work in Saudi Arabia and looking after a child. Maybe she must be trying around to go to the bathroom and do something, and the child maybe fell down. They said the Arabs of Saudi Arabia kill her, cut her up to pieces. Then that government should look for those persons and hand them to the family of that woman. Let them decide whether to set the bastards free or cut them up the same way. Too many wrong things are happening to you when you're going to other people's country. Your women becoming prostitutes. Your young men have been robbed of wages and treated like garbage because of corrupt politicians. From Burnham to Chedi Jagan, from Ramatar to all of them. One David Granger said too many young black boys in prison. He didn't see no other race, it's alleged. Friends, these are not the kind of people to rule country. Whether you're black, brown, green, or yellow, God creates you. You didn't create yourself. It's time to stop and get civilized. Stop killing your women or beating if you don't want them, leave them. And you stupid women, wake to hell up. You deserve better. I am calling on you, the people in Guyana, for a national front government where an Amerindian would be your leader. Administrated by the Amerindian, followed by the mixed race, followed by the Chinese and Portuguese, then comes the black and the Indian. And the constitution must change because you have an institution. Every crime that was committed by a Guyanese, whether you are the president, or you're the prime minister, or the preacher, you must be tried according to the constitution. None one of you is above the law. You hear? And for every man that you lock up wrongfully, you must answer the charge. And if you continue with the racism, you will go back to Africa and India, and those back in Africa and India must take your place. For every one of you must be 10 in your place. All right? So if we send 100, it's 1,000 coming in your place. Think of it, because they deserve to live better, much more educated, more family origin, and they want to break and come out of this white man, black man, brown man, and yellow man. Why the Chinese don't say that? Great symbol. See no evil, hear none, speak none. Which means they don't see y'all are evil, and they don't want to see you. You see you? And they would not get involved. My friends, let's unite and put Guyana forward. And every crime that was committed, present and past, must be reopened. And for those people who are fighting for land, bribing surveyor, land surveyor, they bribing the courthouse, the registrar, the NDC, let it be known to you, anybody who rob another their land, change fictitious paper, you shall answer. You will get the land and you and your family can get it, don't run around, but you won't get it up top. Promise you that you will get it below. We will build some nice cabin below, put you and your family and just cover it. You can get it below. We can fulfill your desire, but you will not get it on top. Why we cannot live together and stop this covetousness? Like you are seeing alien generation, he dead and gone and they continue. What a disease. A man named Mohanlal Blacker, he dressed down and said, bye. Well, Mr. Ali, President, it's Ramadan month over now, is the feast. Can I get 6 inches wide in the Three-County River, shore to shore? Because Mohanlal, the Hindu god, In Canaan, say he get an egress and egress, then he buy it, we pay. I call upon Bhagwan, Allah, and God. Shake an earthquake and get rid of this disease. Let people know that he's there. I am a human being, just temporary, and I feel for my offspring. I feel for my neighbors. I feel when an innocent man or woman get hurt. You mean to tell me God have no feelings? But what is he waiting on? Oh, he's slow, but he's sure. You got to wipe out civilization before you step in? I'm a believer, but I'm calling on him to act, to show people that he's there. Come on, friends. God must forgive me by saying these things, if so be the case. But all of us want to see the hands of God now. Not when we're dead. What judgment we done to him that we have to go through trial? Let's unite and make this world a better place. Open up Guyana to the less fortunate around the world. And we could build a step so the prophets them can walk, and every innocent man and woman around the world could have a place to live and worship their God and take care of their family. But no racialness, no religious battle. We will live as brothers and sisters, as human beings, to defend the country from primitive people who want to take us over once we live good. With this, I have to thank you all for listening. May God, Bhagwan Allah be with all of you. Walaikum salam, salam alaikum to the Muslim. Peace.